Are you in the market for a 4x4 vehicle, but you don't want it to be too big, too expensive, or to look like you're compensating for something? Then, yeah.
Really? Well, you don't need to compensate when you're something like this, a Jimny, a Suzuki Jimny to be exact. This is a car that has slayed the big cars like G-Wagons, like Defenders. But we want to see, as an everyday car, is it something that is capable on the street? Well, there's only one way to find out. But first, we want to take a closer look of what's inside the Jimny. So let's take a look. Right, speaking of the inside of the Jimny, we are in the inside of the Jimny. And
We are inside.
inside. And it's the advantage of doing these reviews when it comes to cars like these is that there's very little to forget, because there's equipment, yes, this is the top trim one, but it's still pretty, for lack of a better word, basic, which is good, I think, for this sort of segment, because all you have here, starting up here, we've got the screen here. There's a 7-inch screen. And touch screen, yeah. And it's it's all right. It's not...
It's quite responsive.
Yeah.
Capacitive buttons.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan.
Buttons. Yeah, I think it's more of maybe a generation behind or so, but I think it suits the car for what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be very simple anyways, so...
But for a very simple car, I was actually very impressed by things like this.
Please say a command.
Please call my wife.
Sorry, there is no phone connected.
Yeah, but the key word is it listened.
It listened.
Yeah, so it can listen, in case you didn't know. And moving down here, you've got your basic events here, and your hazard button there. Then your climate controls are down here. Old school knobs as it's supposed to be.
I love the clicks,
don't want
though.
anything on the screens.
Yeah, for real.
And then further down here, the most interesting part here is that the window switches are actually down here.
Yep.
Normally you'd find them on the door, but they just...
And then the center console, or all 4 of them, or 2 of them in this case, will be by the driver's side.
Yeah, but they're just all here. And
I think they did that to save costs.
does make sense though.
Makes sense,
It does make
because they
sense.
don't have switches by the doors, and then here, and then there.
And then further down here, your descent control button and
Traction control.
Traction control. And then you move down here. And this shifter, funny enough, reminds me of a fit shifter, because you got the little button in the back there.
Almost every automatic shifter has that button.
But then it
My
looks
2004 Nissan
but
has
the
that
shifter
button.
design also just looks like it. But yeah, I guess maybe because of
It's a nice knob, isn't it?
It's an okay knob. But why you wanna go there? Why?
I'm just seeing the way
Really?
you're stroking it.
How about this one? Stroke this one.
Oh yeah, it's got a second shifter, because this is a 4x4, so you can choose whether you want to use 4 high or 4 low.
And it's
Or
right
too
where
high.
it should be. Manual handbrake.
I love those.
Everybody loves those.
Just don't bother trying to do handbrake turns.
This car will flip.
I think this will flip over. I think you can tell from the distance between the front wheel and the back wheel, and the sheer narrowness of the car. You don't really have very low center of gravity, so don't be trying to get silly with this car.
It's very top heavy. And then moving back here, you've got 2 cup holders and a little storage compartment here for what?
A very tiny phone.
Yeah, if you got a Kudzi, then right here. But that's the thing though, like that's it. We're done. Like there's nothing else apart from these events on the side. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, on my driver's side, there's quite a lot happening. I've
A lot?
got quite a bit for a car in this segment. There's quite a lot happening. I mean, I got cruise control. I've got all the controls for my infotainment. I've got, I love the 2-phase indicator stalk. It's quite intuitive for a car in this segment. And you've got, a digital screen in the middle. Then you got your old school needles. I am such a fan of old school needles, by the way. So there's quite a bit going on, and I love the steering wheel position. Nothing is interrupting my view, and also nothing is interrupting my view for the cluster, information cluster. I see right clearly through it. I love it.
Dope. And the other thing that I really like about this too is the space. Sitting here in my normal seating position, I've got a lot of leg room for myself. But I'm curious to see if I can sit behind myself. That's a tricky bit about this car. So let me hop in the back and see what that's
Yep,
like.
Mr. Long Ago, you do your back thing.
In the back seat of the Jimny, And there's actually more room than I thought there would be. I mean, I'm of course taller than the average guy, so you'd be able to fit properly here. But the one thing that I do have a problem with is the seat back. I can't see anywhere where I can adjust the angle, so I'm sitting quite upright. That's the only complaint that I have. But I've got loads of headroom and just enough knee room to allow me to go for short journeys or not too long distances. And I think I'll be fairly okay in here. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. There's nothing, literally nothing here at the back. Right, looking at the exterior of this Jimny, I think it looks really good in this army green. And this overlook in general, I think it's just right. I mean, just fits it so well. I mean, starting off at the front here, we've got these LED lights here. The GLX has these LEDs. The normal ones just come with halogens. You also have got the classic Suzuki grille and the badge in the center. Looks great. Then moving down here, just more of the usual plastic bumper business going on here. And little spotlights at the bottom right here.
Another thing that people shouldn't overlook on this little thing is I always forget the name. What's it called?
What?
The
Tell me.
departure angle is the back. This
Approach
angle. Hot damn it.
Okay, approach angle.
No, when you look at the design of it, the approach angle is actually very, very adequate.
Suitable for this car.
For this sized car, exactly. And it's also got a very, very good brake over angle.
You got that right?
And a departure angle for when you're leaving.
Yes.
And it works very well with this car's dimensions. I just thought I would mention that because a lot of people look at this little thing and they think, why would I want that? Why would I? That's exactly why you would want this, because it can go to some places that a normal 4x4 will have trouble going over.
Yeah, and like I said before, the size is great. The silhouette on the side is great. And the back, you've got the spare wheel and the lights at the bottom. The spare wheel, I think, is where it should be, not underneath the car.
Yeah.
Because where would you put it? But that's it. I mean, just that's how simple the car is. There's nothing else going on for it, but I love it for that reason.
And also another thing is, I love it as the 3-door version that it is right now with this one. A lot of people are saying they should make a 4-door. There is a 4-door version that was made before, but I prefer it as a 3-door version because I feel like when they make it a 4-door, it's now getting a bit too long. Yeah. And it kind of like ruins that brake over angle with the wheel axles.
Yeah, sure. So let's take another look at what this car is like at the back and see what's going on there.
Okay.
Right, onto the back of the Jimny. Pretty simple. You've got the spare wheel back here. Why are you touching like that? Really? You've got the third brake light on top here and the nozzle to spray water here and the wiper down here if you want to clear the window. Right? Really? This guy? This guy?
Stop it.
Moving down here, you've got the logo. The logo is the name down here.
And then over this side, you've got the name, the Jimny, and the old grip.
And the lights at the bottom here.
Yeah.
And the handle. It's not automatic. The hydraulic is just so strong that it just opens on its own. Is it hydraulic or is the... What do you call this thing?
The gas strut.
Thank you. Gas strut. And that's the back. So, final thoughts on the Suzuki Jimny. What do you think?
I love it. I love it, man. It's got so much character. It's got so much enthusiasm. It's got so, you know, like, you know how Chihuahuas don't know they're small dogs, and they can actually scare away a lot of big dogs. I feel like this is that in that realm in the car world, whereas it can get to places where other big cars cannot go to.
Exactly. If I'm to be a bit more religious, I liken this Jimny to David. You know, Goliath is the big G. Why are you looking at me funny? Keep rolling. Goliath is the G63s and the big defenders and all these other, even the Bronco Raptor. But you got something small like this, which is affordable, which is available here in our market, and I think it ticks a lot of boxes, provided that you don't have too many people to carry around. I think that it's a really capable car, and it's definitely on my list, I must say.
By the way, if you're curious, Suzuki TCPT is selling one of these for less than 28,000 USD. So it's definitely something to consider.
So it's definitely an affordable buy for a brand new car. I mean, it still has these plastics on, so yeah, virgin everything.